It's Friday night. That means it's time for another Hockey Town Hangout brought to you by our friends at HGS Canada. I'm Elijah McKeown from the city of Pembroke, and we've got a great show for you here tonight. She's a three-time Olympian, two-time gold medal winning captain at the Olympics in 2002 in Salt Lake City and in 2006 in Turin. Hockey Night in Canada broadcaster, Ronald McDonald House ambassador. We can't wait for you to see what we cooked up with Cassie Campbell-Pascall. We're so thrilled to have her here with us tonight. As well, we've got music from Rhea Gallant. It promises to be an awesome show here tonight with our second episode of Hockey Town Hangouts. We're doing this every Friday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, 9 p.m. on your TV, Ottawa Valley, with episodes re-airing throughout the week. You can find that schedule online from them. If you're watching this with us on Friday night, it's a great opportunity to order in from your favorite local restaurant or to find a new favorite. 30 places are open for takeout or delivery still tonight. Find that info in the description online or at that link right below us. If you're watching on TV, well, look it up. If you're watching later in the week, we've got over 40 places right here in Pembroke to eat. Check one of them out or use Valley Eats to get it delivered contactless right to your door. There are many charitable organizations right here in Pembroke which address different needs in our community who need support as we work through this pandemic together. We're going to include some links in the description in our online videos and flash some info on how you can get connected with them throughout the episode. If you're able to, please support these groups in their endeavors to strengthen vulnerable and at-risk groups in our area. At all times, please remember, follow all health regulations as they're laid out and be aware the city of Pembroke is still here for you for whatever you need throughout all this. Find more info at our website and on our social media links above me here. And without further ado, it's Friday night. Let's get to it. It's time to hang out.
Friday night, thinking that we just might run away to someplace sweet. We can be who we are. No, we can be who we are.
All right, we're joined here tonight by three-time Olympian who captained Canada to gold in Salt Lake City and Turin, Sportsnet hockey broadcaster, and Ronald McDonald House national ambassador, Cassie Campbell-Pascall. Thank you for hanging out on a Friday night with us. Thank you for being here tonight.
No, it's a great idea. And when I heard about it, I was excited to join. So hi to everyone in Pembroke for sure.
And you're joining us from Calgary tonight?
Yes, I'm in Calgary. That's where I live.
How's Calgary been handling these past couple of months?
You know, I think we've done a fairly good job in Alberta. You know, we've had, some decent numbers, I guess, if you call them decent numbers, as far as how we're handling the COVID. And I think our hospitals have done a great job. And, obviously some deaths and some unfortunate things have happened, like have been happening across the country. But I think we've kept our numbers down, and we're just plugging away. We're kind of in the season in Calgary where it can snow one day and then be, plus 20 the next. So it's weather-wise can be sometimes a little bit frustrating, but we're hanging in out here and we're all social distancing and we're all staying home. And I think like everyone, we have great days and we have blah days, and we're just trying to get through this and trying to help each other out a little bit one day at a time.
Absolutely. Now, how have you yourself been spending these past 2 months? I really love the piece that you contributed to the National Post this weekend for Mother's Day. What's it been like for you to spend some more time with your family?
Well, I'll be honest, the first month, 3 weeks to a month, I kind of went off the grid, to be honest with you. I think I realized how much I needed a break, when you're given a mandated break. And I wasn't on social media. I was just home with my family, my husband and my daughter, and I was homeschooling my daughter who's in grade 4. And but I just needed an emotional and a physical break. And I've been working out. That's something that I kind of been 2 days on, 1 day off is sort of my routine. And but just spending time with family, like normally my husband and I would be entrenched in the NHL playoffs. He works with the Calgary Flames, and myself with Rogers Sportsnet. So this is a time of year where we don't even know where we are, and our daughter's home with our parents. And so it's been nice in a sense to slow down a little bit. And then I kind of came back on the grid about 3 weeks ago, and it's been busy, you know, just working from home and doing projects like this, and you know, trying to help out, you know, local charities where I can, and local restaurants, and just, you know, being at home and enjoying home, and our hugs last a little longer, which is nice. We get frustrated and we have our moments of lack of patience here, but I think for the most part, we're trying to see some positive of just being home together, the three of us.
That much is nice. And you said in that piece in the Post that screen time's been way up. What have you been watching? Has there been anything that's really stood out to you?
Well, you know, most times we're just watching hockey at our house. We always have a game on, and we're always, my husband's scouting, or I'm, you know, preparing for a game. And so we don't watch a lot of Netflix or Disney Plus. And so we've been watching Disney Plus with our daughter, and, you know, there's some great educational shows and animal shows, National Geographic. We've been into those, the elephants and the dolphins. And we watched Invincible last night, a great true story, a football movie. And Netflix, I've loved. I'm into Peaky Blinders right now, and
Oh yeah.
I just watched the series Self-Made, which is about the first African American, North American woman who becomes a millionaire based on her hair business. So that was really interesting. And, you know, The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan thing, and you know, I was one of those ones that got sucked into the Tiger King and sat there and wondered, why am I watching this, and yet I couldn't turn it off. And so I think, you know, we're doing normal things that everyone else does. And we're, you know, those are some of the shows I've been watching on Netflix for sure.
We've had back-to-back weeks now on this program mentioning Invincible after I hadn't thought about that movie in 10 years. And now John Scott mentioned it last week, and you've mentioned it this week, you know, touting that movie. And so here it is. There's something about the
Well,
athletes
it's a true
loving
story,
Invincible.
so I guess we're...
Absolutely. Are you and the family looking forward to anything in the future then? Sitting down and watching anything? Is there anything you've planned out?
No, we haven't really planned it out. I think we just... you know, we just kind of see how it goes, right? And if we can fit in a movie night, that's great. Or we're sitting out in the backyard if it's a nice night. Or, you know, we just kind of scramble around and, you know, flick the flicker like everybody else. And,
Absolutely.
you know, trying to get our daughter off the iPad. I mean, screen time is way up for her, but it is what it is. And now they're doing school on their computers. And but we try to get her out and get active and go for bike rides. And I go for runs, and I'll bring her on her bike with me. And you know, we've also started this program, myself and Olympic curler Ben Hebert, where we join the movement, where we're trying to encourage everyone to get active. And so, you know, we had Roberto Luongo this week, and a couple of the Flames on one of our Peloton rides this week. And so just, you know, trying to encourage everyone to get off the couch, you know, stop watching Netflix to a certain degree and get up and get active with your families. And so that's sort of another thing, you know, that's kind of kept me busy here and there.
That's cool to find some initiatives like that, because I've myself struggled to get active and find some motivation to do something besides, you know, work and watch TV. It's hard to find that. So it's good to, you know, get that motivation. Now, Salt Lake City seems so distant now. Not to make you feel old, but I was 7 years old at the time. It's been a while, but still remember both the men's and the women's tournament clear as day. What is your fondest moment when you look back on those 2002 games?
Well, I just think, you know, we weren't supposed to win. You know, it was the American Dream Team, and they'd been centralized for 4 years, and they beat us in the 8 games prior to that Olympic gold medal game, and they really were the better team. And we just kind of found a way to come together at the right moment and to get a win and to win a gold medal. And I think just the amount of adversity we faced that year, sort of the hockey adversity, if you will, and the things that went on behind the scenes, and for us to kind of stick together and have our challenging moments and to be able to come together when it mattered the most, I think that sticks out for me. And having my family there, you know, my brother was there, my mom, my dad, and, you know, that just winning your first Olympic gold, it's always, you know, the most special one, I believe. And it really kind of set the foundation for what Hockey Canada was able to do the next, you know, 3 Olympics after that. And so, yeah, it was just a really great Olympics, and my husband worked with our men's team, so we kind of came home with double gold. And, you know, we're lucky in that sense that we both work in hockey. So it was a real neat Olympics. And, you know, obviously there was a lot of security because of 9/11 happening, you know, prior to that. But I think it was a special Olympics in that sense to remember, all those people that, lost their lives in that. And it was nice to sort of have a celebration in the United States of America after they dealt with such a tough thing. So there were so many great things about those Olympics, and definitely winning was right up there, number one.
And you mentioned with the Last Dance happening right now, and with so much focus being on that dream team with USA Basketball. Now, when we focus on, a different dream team in 2006 in Turin, this Canada women's hockey team, you guys steamrolled everybody through that entire tournament. The closest game, 4-1 in the gold medal game, limiting Sweden to 8 shots in that tournament. What stands out about that team to you, about what made you all gel so well, and what, still lasts from that team?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think that's one of the best Team Canadas we've ever seen as far as the women's game goes. And, that was sort of the old guard, like myself and Danielle Goyette and Vicky Sanahara, who were aligned, and we were watching, these young kids like a Megan Augusta, who we taught in hockey school when she was 9 years old, start to make the team. And, they were so talented when they first came in. And, we just had kind of a really good group. We all got along, and, we all weren't afraid to challenge each other, but we all got along, and we had a really good group. And it was honestly, it was kind of good for the game that we didn't play the U.S. in the gold medal final. They lost to Sweden in the semis, but beating Sweden, I think it was good for the game to see them get a silver medal. And but honestly, it was the most dominant team I think I've ever played on. And even if we played the U.S. in the final, I think we would have beat them. And we just sort of had that aura about us, if you will, where it was this influx of young kids and us old girls trying to make sure that they understood traditions and what it takes to win, and leaving our mark on the program. So it was a really fun year again, and nice to enjoy Italy afterwards.
Now, with the women's game right now, it's such a crossroads with the PWHPA establishing last year and the NWHL not only continuing to exist, but now expanding into Canada this year. Is there a path you think that exists for women's hockey to have the best opportunities that women need to properly succeed and excel in the game moving forward?
Well, I think one of the big things, Elijah, that people don't understand is we don't have a professional women's league. We've never had it. And I used to be on the board of the Canadian Women's Hockey League before it folded. I stepped down about 2-3 years before it folded, and we used to say that we were professional, but we didn't pay our players nearly enough as far as what the expenses that they incurred. And we tried to provide a professional environment with dressing rooms and proper things, but there were still so many things missing. And the NWHL, I wish them nothing but the best of luck. I really do. But it's not a league I support simply because I don't think it's a professional league either. And, I'm really pushing behind the scenes for a WNHL. And that's what I think it'll take to finally have a true professional women's hockey league where our players are paid a modest salary, but they have access to dressing rooms. They have access to proper travel. They have access to proper medical insurance. All those things that kind of get taken for granted in the men's game. And, that's what the PWHPA is fighting for. And I think maybe what's lost in the message is they're not against the National Women's Hockey League. They just don't believe it's a professional model that has existed or will exist in the future. And it's not about personnel. It's not about people associated with the league. I just think they feel it's a league that women's hockey where it needs to. I always try to make clear is that we've never had a professional women's hockey league. We currently do not have one, and that is what the players are actually fighting for.
Well put from you, and we appreciate your perspective on that. Now, post-playing career, you've stepped behind the glass to work in broadcasting. Who is your favorite person that you've had the opportunity to work with at Rogers Sportsnet, and what is it that sets them apart from everybody else?
Well, I think right off the hop, I'd have to say Ron McLean and Kelly Rudy. I mean, both of them sort of had my back right from the beginning and were so supportive right from the beginning, and probably gave me the best advice from a broadcast standpoint. And Ron McLean, it was be yourself. Just, people will see through it if you're not yourself. And for Kelly Rudy, he always just had this sort of knack of sending me a text when I probably needed it the most, just a little pick me up. And Elliot Friedman, just a guy that, taught me about hard work. And, he's probably the hardest working guy in television, in hockey television. And, he knows so much, and that's the reason why. And so I've learned from him. And, other colleagues, Gary Galley, Greg Millen, Dave Randorf, the list goes on and on. Mr. Bob Cole, I've gotten a chance to work with him, producers, Sorali Najak and Joel Darling and Jim Huff. And everyone kind of has an impact on you if you let them. And, a lot of my colleagues, they never made me feel like a woman. They always made me feel like a hockey person, and they treated me with respect. And that's all I could really ask for coming in.
Oh, we love to hear that. Now, I love the throwback that you put up on Instagram this week of you and now Maple Leafs president Brendan Shanahan on the cover of the first box of Canadian Wheaties back before the 1998 Olympics. Now, how does it come to be that you end up in Brendan Shanahan's hockey pants on the cover of a box of Wheaties? How does this all come to be?
Well, I'm glad you phrased that well, because you could have said, how did you end up in Brendan Shanahan's pants? And that would have probably not gone over so well. But anyway, I opened my bag. I traveled to Detroit to do the commercial, or the shoot, I guess. And I opened my hockey bag and realized, oh no, I forgot my hockey pants. Like, how do you forget your hockey pants? And so then you're in a panic, what are you going to do? And of course, Brendan, he has about 3 pairs of Detroit Red Wing pants in his locker, and he's like, hey, just one of mine. And he had I had to hike the suspenders up as short as they could go, and then they had to black out the pants and make them black. But those are actually Brendan Shanahan's Detroit Red Wing hockey pants that I'm wearing. And it's kind of a funny story behind the scenes. And he was great, and fun to get to know, and get to know over the years too. He's just a great man, and what he's doing for the Leafs, I think, is pretty incredible in turning that franchise back around. So that's just a fun little behind the scenes story. And I got supported by General Mills for 2 Olympic cycles, and lots of cereal was being shipped to my house, and Cheerios and stuff. But to be on that first Wheaties box in Canada, that's kind of a big deal. Wheaties in the United States was huge, and when it first came to Canada, it was kind of fun just to sort of nostalgic feeling, if you will, to be on the cereal box. And I think I have one downstairs still. I don't know if the cereal's any good, but I still have a box downstairs.
I wouldn't recommend eating it, but that's a nice little treasure to have for sure. Now let's end this off with a quick lightning round. First off, Cassie, the best player you ever played with?
Oh, that's tough. There's so many. You know what? I have to say probably Jana Hefford. I just think no matter what line she played on, the first line, second line, third line, she made people better. And I had the opportunity to play on her line a few times, and she scored so many big goals, and is probably one of those players on the national women's team that doesn't get a lot of recognition. She's from Kingston, Ontario, and so I'd say Jana Hefford.
Absolutely cool. Your favorite sports movie?
My favorite sports movie, Invincible. I watched Invincible this week. That was pretty good. It's based on a true story, but maybe A League of Their Own, right? With the women's baseball, and that was kind of cool. So yeah, I would probably say A League of Their Own. This
show's going to end up getting sponsored by Invincible.
Yeah.
Your favorite rink in the NHL to broadcast from?
Well, I think there's a close tie. Probably the Bell Center in Montreal is number 1, but like 1B is United Center in Chicago, especially during the playoffs for both those buildings. The fans are just so educated and loud, and both those buildings. When Ron used to throw to us in the rink, I used to tell him, don't ask me a question because I have no idea what you're saying, because we could barely hear ourselves think, let alone what he was saying to us. And just the anthem at the United Center, the crowd at the Bell Center, how loud it is from the moment the puck's dropped until, the game is won by whoever. And those are both probably 2 of my favorite buildings.
Awesome. Describe Brian Burke for us in 1 word.
Amazing.
And your favorite Canadian musical artist?
The Tragically Hip.
Back-to-back weeks there too.
I know that's a band. Of course, there's more than one, but the Tragically Hip for sure.
You can't go wrong there. And we're going to transition from here to another Canadian musical artist. We've got Rhea Gallant coming up here, playing some music from her home. Cassie Campbell-Pascall, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We really appreciate you hanging out with us, taking some time out of your day. We wish you all the best, to you and your family, throughout all of this. Please take care, and we wish you the best through the rest of this, however long it lasts. Send the best to you and your family.
Well, all the best to you, Elijah, and all the best to everyone in Pembroke. And stay safe and stay home. And let's listen to what our health experts are telling us to do. All the best.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Rhea Gallant, for those of you who did not know yet. Yeah, I'm gonna play a couple of my songs for you guys. I hope you enjoy them. I got my first set all started up here, so we're gonna jump right into my first song. This one is called Stranger. I wrote it a while back in the summer, and yeah, hope you guys like it. I was born with a wandering heart, here and there it's done me some good. I've been around, seen a lot of pretty places, seen a lot of pretty people too. My favorite was this one little town, the sun's are later here than anywhere else around, I swear. Oh, I swear, oh. Now take me back to where the sunset lay, where the air is always warm, no matter the day, where the food is rich and the wine is sweet, and you're making all your loving with the stranger off the street, with the stranger off the street. Ooh, 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 stranger off the street. There's no place outside I've ever been that's given me the same sort of vibe. Dance your heart out every day, lose your mind by night. Oh, oh. And I find myself in the same old routine, and nothing even really feels new to me. But I know, oh, that there's more. Now take me back to where the sunset lay, where the air is always warm, no matter the day, where the food is rich and the wine is sweet, and you're making all your loving with the stranger off the street, with a stranger off the street. Ooh, 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 with a stranger off the street. I was born with a wandering heart, here and there it's done me some good. I've been around, seen a lot of pretty places, seen a lot of pretty people too. My favorite was this one little town, the sunset later here than anywhere else around, I swear. Oh my God, I swear, oh. Now take me back to where the sunset lay, where the air is always warm, no matter the day, where the food is rich and the wine is sweet, and you're making all your loving with the stranger off the street, with a stranger off the street. Ooh, 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 with a stranger off the street. Okay, yeah, and that was Stranger. The next one I'm gonna play is Sunshine. something we could all use a little more of right now. Yeah, hope you guys like that last one. So my next one is called Different Here. I wrote this whenever I was still living in North Bay for school, and yeah, it's just kind of about, you know, kind of getting adjusted to a new place and everything, and how, you know, things don't always turn out the same as you kind of thought they would, and sometimes it is kind of different. I guess you could say the sun shines different here. Be from here. You can count on 10 fingers all your biggest fears. Too many people shouting at you to hear, and I think it's 'cause the sun shines a little bit different here. You got a million things happening in one place. You got 7 new ways to change your face, and I think it's 'cause the sun shines a little bit different here. Yeah, the sun shines a little bit different here. Yeah, the sun shines different here. Have you ever noticed how their voices change? Rejecting delicate points of view. Soft words tend to get lost in translation, and when they speak, they genuinely haven't a clue. And I think it's 'cause the sun shines different here. Can shift to all that's new, not leaving space to see what's cool. And I think it's 'cause the sun shines a little bit different here. Flowers seem to find a bloom, and communication has to drop between me and you. And I think it's 'cause the sun shines a little bit different here. Yeah, the sun shines a little bit different here. Yeah, the sun shines different here. Yeah, the sun shines different here. Ooh, it's different here. Yeah, the sun shines, the sun shines, the sun shines a little bit different here. All right. So this next one I'm gonna do, this one is called Back. Another one I wrote whenever I first got to North Bay for school. You know, fresh new start. I was starting to feel more myself again. And yeah, so here it goes. Hope you guys like it. Summer had a burst on me and it was over well before it began, and hearts broke but mine was not one. And the colors changed, I found a new love, and he can swing it, yeah, he's always enough. And I'm flying so high, I don't even have to try. And if you try to find me, I'd already been gone for some time. Trying to relocate what was mine, oh, but I found on, find a new meaning in our song, and eventually we figure ourselves out. Slowly you bring it back, and then you run it up, you make it move fast, and in the end it'll fall back into place. And if you try to find me, I'd already been gone for some time, trying to relocate what was mine. But I found a way the water runs and the trees grow high, and I'm back, baby. Yeah, I'm back, baby. Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back. Ooh, I'm back. Ooh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, so that's that one. Next one is a little bit slower. This one is called The Stars. I guess it's about, I guess sometimes we have people in our lives that maybe something happens, some kind of falling out, and you just can't stop thinking about them, but you just have it in your heart that you want to talk to them again, and I don't know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. This song is kind of, I guess, undecided, I guess you could say. There's about 1,000 miles just running between us. I'm not sure when it happened, but it did. Now every time I think of you, I feel the distance sinking. And I suppose I could meet you at the 500 mile, but my heart is so tired, babe. And I've been alone on this desert stretch for as long as I can remember. And the stars, they just stare back at me. Blowing our dreamy clouds into the night air. Our breath carried further than we could imagine. These memories slip through my fingers before we can even count them. And I've been slipping right along with them. And I suppose I could meet you at the 500 mile, but my heart is so tired, babe. Ooh. And I've been alone on this desert stretch for as long as I can remember. And the stars, they just stare back at me. And I suppose I could meet you at the 500 mile, but my heart is so tired, babe. And I've been alone on this desert stretch for as long as I can remember. just stare back at me, and the stars, they just stare back at me. Okay, and I have one more, and then that'll be the end of set one. And yeah, this one is called Feel the Way I Do. Just a nice little love song, you know. Just give me a second to find in my book. I do not have it memorized yet. Okay. I used to sit and wonder where the time went, where the time was spent, but it don't matter now. I used to wish I never knew a broken heart, but honey, it was a start to knowing you. And that night we were walking by the water, I never knew I could feel the way you make me do. And that whole time I was looking at you, wondering what I had to do to deserve this. You're as calm as a body of water on a warm summer's day, and I could ride your way forever, although I know there's no telling it'll stay. But you make it easy. Oh, but you make it easy to feel the way I do. 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 I've known heartache for a while now. It's such a deafening sound. It's true. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried a million ways to get it out of my space. But now you make everything seem so easy. Like enjoying, guys. I'll catch you back at the second set in just a few minutes. Thanks for listening.
We're catching up here with Rhea Gallant, catching up between sets. So, Rhea, how are you doing here? You're living here in Pembroke?
Yep.
And how's Pembroke treating you during all this?
It's pretty good. I just came back from North Bay. I'm doing school up there and stuff. So moving back home was a bit of a change, getting back to the family life and everything, but it's been good. It's been really good being back home.
And what's this transition been like? How have you been spending your days the past couple of months?
I've been really playing a lot of my music, just kind of coming up with some new stuff. I'm back home with my sister now, so we've been hanging out a lot too and everything. So it's been nice to kind of spend time with family and focus on my music and everything. So it's been good. Mm-hmm.
That's good. You find anything to watch or read to keep yourself busy?
Yes, I actually watched Unorthodox on Netflix. It was really, really good. Had a pretty good story, and yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately.
Well, we need something to keep us going through the day, you know? It's good to find something to keep yourself going. What's something that you've done over the past 2 months that you've really been proud of yourself?
I'm kind of making myself sound a little bit like a dork here, but I've actually started knitting to kind of pass the time, you know. So I've got about 2 panels now. I'm making a big blanket, so that's one of my major accomplishments so far, I guess.
Well, we're happy to see that. And you know, what progress have you made on your music here as you've come along over the past couple of months? You know, has this helped you in a creative way, do you think?
I think it really depends. I think for me, especially, I write all of my own music. So I think there's definitely, you know, I'll have spurts where I'm doing nothing but writing for about a week and a half. And then I might have 2-3 weeks where I'm just kind of, you know, going through some of my old stuff. So it's really just been, you know, here and there. Like if I have like a creative feeling, I guess I start writing something. And if not, then just practice the old stuff and that's that.
Right on. Well, we look forward to seeing what you've got for our next little set here. Rhea Gallant, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the first set, and we look forward to seeing what Rhea has got in the second set. Take care, and we hope to see you in person and hang out some more in the future. Enjoy your Friday night, and take care.
So welcome back to the second set. I just want to say again, thank you so much for listening. So the next few songs I'm going to do, they're relatively new. I kind of finished them up or wrote them within the last few months. I've been writing songs now for about 3 years, I guess. Started out at some local places, just playing at a few open mics and stuff. Milanos was really good. It's my go-to. Great crowd there. Anyway, and yeah, I just kind of want to say thank you to those guys for getting me started in music and everything, and still going strong. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to kick it off with Emmy Lou. It's one that me and a friend wrote. She's super talented. Went to live in London for a year. But yeah, super talented girl, love her. And yeah, so this is Emmy Lou. Good morning, Emmy Lou. Nice to see you. How are you? In those chunky Mary Janes, Buddy Holly spire frames, and your crazy frizzy hair. I kinda like that you don't care. It's kinda hard. How do you do, Emmy Lou? Do you feel the way I do? I heard you speak Portuguese. You really got me on my knees. Cigarette between your teeth. How you walk to your own beat. It's kinda hard. You're unexpected and you know it. You don't care and you show it. I know if I tried I'd probably blow it. So I'll keep admiring you from afar. a bit of a bore, but tell me please, what do the pages hold beneath? Oh, what do you do to me? You're unexpected and you know it. You don't care and you show it. I know if I tried I'd probably blow it. So I'll keep admiring you from afar. So I'll keep admiring you from afar. It's a beautiful night, Emmylou, just as beautiful as you. The stars are so unique, just like your own funky beat. Have you got anywhere to go? I know I have some time to blow. Let's go get high and wonder why. The universe is so complex. You're unexpected and you know it. You don't care and you show it. I know if I tried I'd probably blow it. So I'll keep admiring you from afar. So I'll keep admiring you from afar. Oh, Emmylou, I admire you from afar. Emmylou, I admire you from afar. All right. So this next one, homeless in Fiji. Kind of a funny story behind this one. So my dad, when he was, I guess, 18, 19, younger than me, he went on a backpacking trip to Australia. But before he went, you know, he had a few ties he had to break before he left, so he did so. And anyway, so he went to Australia, had an amazing time. He said he had a whole list of stuff he wanted to do, and he wanted to do all these things before he came back, and he did them all. Thing was, though, after he finished all these things, he kind of ran out of some money. So he ended up stranded in Fiji for a few days till he could get back home. Anyway, I was back at school. I was telling one of my friends this late at night after we, you know, had a few drinks. We came back from a party, and I was telling her about this story, about this crazy story about my dad, and she says, you know, you should write a song about that, like homeless in Fiji. That sounds kind of cool. I was like, does sound kind of cool. Anyway, next day, I kind of messed around with a few things, and yeah, I came up with Homeless in Fiji. So hope you guys enjoy. I told my baby I'm gonna leave. It don't got nothing to do with you. This is on me. And she cried. Oh yeah, she cried. But there's something calling me, I said, and I gotta make it right. So I bought my ticket and I boarded the plane. I closed my eyes and I numbed my brain, and I felt the wheels take off and I started to fly. I looked through the window and into the cloudy night. It won't matter where I was before. I'll make my home up on the shore. The sun freckling my face and sand beneath my feet. Oh, I'll be alright, even if I'm homeless in Fiji. Oh, I'll be alright, even if I'm homeless in Fiji. Oh, my home is in Fiji. It's just how I thought it would be. This all out the ocean breeze. The sunsets were unimaginable. I knew she'd been calling me, and I sat by the water and sang for her as I should. And the tropic warmth enveloped me, embracing me as I stood. And it won't matter where I was before, I'll make my home up on the shore. The sun freckling my face and sand beneath my feet. Oh, I'll be alright, even if I'm homeless in Fiji. Oh, I'll be alright, even if I'm homeless in Fiji. Oh, my home is in Fiji. Oh, she understands me. Oh, in Fiji. Yeah, and that's homeless in Fiji. Okay, so this next one, older song that I wrote. I guess, you know, just kind of about good times with your buddies and stuff back in the day. I say back in the day like I'm so old now, I'm only 20, geez. Seems like it was a long time ago though. Anyway, this is The Next Morning. We're both sitting around the fire, just drinking. My hands got me feeling kind of wild, baby. I'm not even tired at all. I asked you if you know the one who gave me that. Look, I poured in your cup, and now I got us both hooked. We're gonna be happening tonight. It's so much fun, and should we have a good time? Let's go for a run and dance in the moonlight. I say I don't think that's a good idea at all. But then you take my hand and you put me in the long grass, and I can't stand to fall over my ass. And we both laugh so hard that we cry. And the stars in the sky don't mean a single thing to me. When you're not there, you're the one by my side. Through all those sleepless nights we share, you're my ride or die. Honey, with you it's always all or nothing, and I know you'll be there smiling next to me the very next morning. Sorry about that. It's the very next day, we're both sitting by the water. For some reason now the sun feels so much hotter, and we can barely stand the heat. They ask me if I wanna leave, and I say yes, please, and ease on my way with you in the driver's seat. All the way home, the music got the windows down, and the stars in the sky don't mean a single thing to me. When you're not there, you're the one by my side. Through all these sleepless nights we share, you're my ride or die. Honey, with you it's always all or nothing, and I know you'll be there smiling next to me the very next morning. The very next morning. Yeah, kind of goofed that one up a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, so this one is called Hippie Life. I actually wrote it during our time here in quarantine. I guess it's not that I really know much about the actual hippie life or anything, but I guess it's just kind of about, you know, just taking time to relax and getting your mind off things, you know, like work and stress and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of separating yourself from that and just taking time to kind of relax and chill out and give yourself the time you need, which even now we still all need, you know, even though we're all stuck at home, doesn't mean that we shouldn't, you know, just be taking time away for ourselves to just kind of zone out and relax. Anyway, yeah, here's Hippie Life. Wait one sec. Sorry, okay. Whispers of disease are at the forefront. The voice of fear dominated my mind. I long for a way to disappear. He looks at me and says, let me tell you about mine. He said, let me introduce you to this hippie life. Let me be hard to find. You give me yours, I'll give you mine. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, we take it easy all the time. Underneath the sunshine, mixing up the strawberries into the wine. Oh, 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 he paints soft flowers on my cheeks. So that's hippie life. I'm gonna do 2 more. The next one I'm gonna do is called Touristo. It's actually a street name in Petawawa. And I would drive by that road all the time. And I always thought it was kind of like, it's kind of a cool name, you know, like Bristow sounds like a cool place. Anyway, last winter, the winter that seemed to drag on forever, I was driving by that road again, and I just kind of thought, I feel like Bristow, if it's a real place, maybe it is, I don't know, but if it's a real place, I bet it would be really cool. So I wrote a song about it. And here it is. Keep on trying to make me who they want me to be, and I'm really just sick of it all. And what kind of person sees that you're hurting and keeps pushing it on? I'm gone to restore, and I'm gone. Where there's love and lies and lullabies to restore, and I'm gone. Oh, to restore. And anyway, so my last one is called Be Alright. I just feel like the song is, it has a really important message, especially today. We're living in these uncertain times, I guess would be the best way to describe them. And I know there's a lot of people in some crazy situations right now, and it's just unbelievable. And my heart goes out to you guys. My heart goes out to the students, because it is really crazy. This is a really crazy time in our lives. Definitely not something that we expected to happen, especially in our lifetime. So, my heart goes out to everybody, like I said, and this is Be Alright, because everything is going to be alright. I'm gonna be alright by this time tomorrow night. I can already see the light, and honey, I'm gonna be alright. The sun has kinda gone away, the clouds have gotten in the way. I can feel the whispers of solitude, and they're encroaching me now. Honey, I'm life's got you down, and you don't feel like there's any way out, just know that I'll be there for you, and I'll do whatever it takes to get you through, and you're gonna be alright. By this time tomorrow night, you can already see the light, and honey, you're gonna be alright. And as life goes on, we may not be together, but I will hold you in my heart forever. And if there ever comes a time when you need me there, just give me a call and I will be there. I'll be there for you in a heartbeat, and we're gonna be alright. By this time tomorrow night, I can already see the light, and honey, we're gonna be alright, and you're gonna be alright. By this time tomorrow night. Yeah, and that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thanks for listening, and yeah, like I said, everyone, stay strong. You know, we're all in this together, and everything's gonna. One of these days, everything is gonna turn out fine, and hopefully we'll be back to normal soon. In the meantime, stay home. Keep your minds busy, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon in real life. All right, bye, guys.
And that's our show. Thank you for hanging out here with us again. We really appreciate you continuing to come back here week after week to hang out with us. Thank you to Barb Lundquist and the whole team at HGS Canada for continuing to make this show a reality. Thank you to Trevor Riley and the whole team down at Your TV for getting this thing onto local TV. Thank you to Cassie Campbell-Pascall and to Rhea Gallant for kicking back and having some fun with us on a Friday night. Thank you to Cassie for sharing some wisdom with me. Thank you to all of you for watching. Please come back next Friday and hang out with us again. We've got some more fun lined up for next weekend. Thank you to Levi Post for making this all make sense. Without him, it'll be a jumbled mess. Keep following all health regulations so we can all hang out in person sooner rather than later. I miss all of you guys. Come on. And thank you to Amy Sherman-Palladino for continuing to keep me sane this week. 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week. And there's only so many of them to spend working or sleeping. We're going to get Scotty P on this show one week or another. We'll see you next week. Please support your community. Support the people in this community. Be good to each other. We'll see you next Friday. Until then, thanks for hanging out.
Someplace we can be who we are. We can be who we are.